YouTube, what's going on? We are live on Twitch right now. Pull up. We are going to be reacting to the worst gamer deaths. I'm live every day at 8 o'clock. Pull up.
The StarCraft incident.
The StarCraft
On
incident.
August 5th, 2005, 28-year-old Lee Sung-seop entered an internet cafe in Daegu, South Korea.
Okay.
He ordered a soda, logged into StarCraft, and began playing. Hours turned into days. Witnesses said he rarely moved from his chair, taking only short breaks to the toilet. By the second night, he had been at the keyboard for nearly 50 hours. His posture...
Like, you see, is wait, hold on. His posture's cooked. Is my posture cooked? Chat, don't dick rod, bro. Keep it a buck. Is my posture cooked? How bad is that? It can't be Mr. Crocker. Yeah.
sagged, his eyes bloodshot, but he kept clicking. The cafe manager urged him to stop, but Lee shook his head and loaded another match. At dawn on the third day, he suddenly collapsed. Paramedics arrived quickly, but he was unresponsive.
StarCraft is not that serious, bro. StarCraft is not even a good... What is StarCraft even about?
Doctors confirmed cardiac arrest brought on by exhaustion, dehydration, and blood clotting
That's
from
horrible.
immobility.
That's
He was
horrible.
pronounced dead shortly after arrival.
That's horrible.
The
R.I.P.
Pokemon electrocution. On July 9th, 2017,
Pokemon electrocution.
in Iloilo City, Philippines, a 12-year-old boy was playing Pokemon Go with friends. They wandered near a construction
Oh, fuck. A drop of water just bounced in my eyes.
site while searching for digital creatures. The boy, holding his phone,
Who played
climbed
Pokemon
onto
Go?
a metal structure close to overhead power lines. Witnesses said he lost his balance and reached out for support. His hand made contact with a live electrical cable. A loud crack followed, and he collapsed instantly. Friends screamed for help, and bystanders rushed over. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but the boy showed no signs of life. He was pronounced dead from electrocution. Authorities confirmed that he had been distracted by the game, which led him into a dangerous area. The accident was covered by local news
So
outlets
sad.
and cited as part of a series of Pokemon Go-related fatalities
Yeah, it was good.
worldwide, where players, focused on the screen, entered dangerous environments. The Minecraft incident.
Hold on,
July
bro.
19th,
Damn. Whoever played Pokemon Go, that was a crazy-ass era. The most I ever did for Pokemon was go out at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Generally, shut the fuck up and watch the video we want Among Us. Like, the Minecraft incident.
2015, a 17-year-old boy entered an internet cafe in Pampanga, Philippines. He logged into Minecraft and began what became a marathon session.
Nice.
Witnesses said he played for almost 3 straight days, taking only brief naps at the desk. Staff grew concerned when they noticed he had not eaten properly and had barely moved from his chair. On the third day, as he leaned forward to type, his body went limp. He collapsed onto the keyboard and did not get up again.
What?
Friends called for help, and staff attempted first aid. Paramedics
What?
arrived, but pronounced him dead at the scene. Local doctors later cited cardiac failure linked to severe exhaustion and dehydration after continuous gaming. The Call of Duty
See,
squad.
that's how you always gotta stay hydrated, bro. While you gaming, you gotta take a little break, stand up, get a snack, drink some water. Like, I don't know, bro. Call of Duty.
On December 28, 2017, 2 Call of Duty players in the United States got into an online argument over a $1.50 wagered match. One player, Casey Viner, asked another, Tyler Barris, to swat his opponent by calling police to his address. Barris dialed 911 in Los Angeles and reported a fake hostage situation in Wichita, Kansas. The address he gave was not his rival's, but belonged to 28-year-old Andrew Finch, who had no connection to the dispute. Police surrounded Finch's home. When he opened the door, officers ordered him to raise his hands. Confused, he moved slightly, and an officer fired a single shot. Finch was killed instantly in front of his family. The case shocked the gaming world.
No.
Barris was later
I remember
sentenced
this.
to 20 years in prison, while Viner received a shorter sentence. The Wii Fit incident.
They should have fucking got the death. They should have got the death penalty, bro. They killed somebody, so they should be killed too. What the fuck?
On December 28, 2009, 25-year-old Tim E.
That's
from
sad, bro.
Sittingbourne, Kent, received a Nintendo Wii Fit as a Christmas present.
Facts. A
Excited
lot of y'all
to
need
try
this
it,
shit.
He began using the console's fitness programs on
Yeah, a
boxing.
lot of y'all need this shit.
Family members later reported that he exercised intensely for several hours with the balance board and aerobic mini-games. That evening, after finishing a workout, he complained of chest pains and shortness of breath. His mother urged him to rest. Minutes later, he collapsed in the living room. Paramedics were called immediately. Despite resuscitation attempts, he was declared dead at the scene.
Wow, that's
An inquest
sad.
found that Tim had suffered a sudden cardiac arrhythmia. Though rare, doctors noted that strenuous physical activity can sometimes trigger fatal heart irregularities in young adults. The case was widely reported in the UK as the first known death linked to Wii Fit activity. The Counter-Strike
I mean, it's not. I mean, obviously, like if you're working out, you're doing exercise, you gotta take a break. CS:GO
incident. On February 26, 2010, in Chongqing, China, two men in their 20s sat in an internet cafe playing Counter-Strike.
Hold on, I'm seeing a lot of deaths linked to internet cafe. What's going on at the internet cafes that's not being investigated? That's already 3 deaths.
And to argue over strategy and insults in the game. Witnesses said the argument grew heated, with both shouting loud enough to attract attention across the room. One man stood up and pushed the other. Staff intervened and briefly separated them, but the fight continued outside the cafe. The aggressor grabbed a knife and stabbed his opponent multiple times in the chest and abdomen. Bystanders called for help, but the victim collapsed on the pavement before paramedics arrived.
Bro, it's
he
not
was
that
pronounced
serious.
dead at the scene. Police quickly arrested the attacker, who admitted to losing his temper during the argument. The killing was widely reported in Chinese media as another example of internet cafe disputes turning deadly. Local authorities used the case to highlight the growing problem of violence connected to online gaming in public spaces. The GTA incident. On August 3rd,
bro, getting stabbed over CS:GO. I'm gonna guess this one. The GTA incident. Bro probably tried to like steal a car and got shot because he thought he was in the game.
2008, in Bangkok, Thailand, 18-year-old high school student Paul Watchino hailed a taxi late at night. When they reached his destination, instead of paying, he pulled a knife and attacked the 54-year-old driver. He stabbed him multiple times before dragging the body from the car and attempting to drive away. Witnesses quickly
come on, bro. I'm too good.
Alerted police, who intercepted him only minutes later. He confessed that he had been playing Grand Theft Auto and wanted to know what it felt like to hijack a car in real life.
But that's though, bro, like, and then you know what? People like this make it look bad for the people that are normal gamers that just want to play GTA. Like, you cannot mistake reality with fiction.
Investigators said he showed no signs of intoxication or mental illness, only fixation on the game. The teenager was charged with murder and robbery.
Wow,
he was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Thai authorities responded by temporarily...
Imprisonment? He said that shit wrong. It's life in prison.
He was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Thai authorities responded by temporarily pulling copies of Grand Theft Auto 4 from store shelves, citing the killing as evidence of dangerous influence.
Come on, bro.
The crime received...
I played GTA 4 my whole childhood, and I never had the urge to kill somebody and steal the taxi. I never had that urge.
And became one of the first game-inspired homicides. The VR incident. On December 21st, 2017, a 44-year-old man in Moscow, Russia, was at home using a virtual reality headset. He moved through his apartment while immersed in the game, unaware of obstacles around him. Investigators later determined that he stumbled while playing and crashed directly into a glass table. The impact shattered the surface, slicing deep into his body. Alone in the apartment, he was unable to call for help. Neighbors reported hearing a loud crash, but did not enter.
Wow, that's fucking
Hours
brutal.
later, family members found him lying in the living room surrounded by broken glass. He had bled to death from severe wounds to his head and neck. Moscow authorities confirmed the accident, noting that it was one of the first recorded cases of a fatality linked directly to the use of a VR headset.
That's fucking
The unusual
brutal.
circumstances attracted international attention, with headlines highlighting the hidden dangers of playing immersive games in unsafe environments. The World of Warcraft incident. On February 1st, 2007...
That's brutal, but I know in VR now, you can I think that's why they did it. Just chill, collect your thoughts, and then speak. I know now in VR, you can select your border so you know when you're about to hit something or some shit.
A 26-year-old man walked into an internet cafe in Guangzhou, China. He sat down, opened World of Warcraft, and...
Again, the internet cafe. There's something we don't know about these internet cafes. There's something there, bro. Trust me.
Began to play. Witnesses later said he barely spoke, only pausing for instant noodles or brief toilet breaks. Day 1 passed, then day 2. He remained in the same seat, eyes fixed on the screen, fingers steady on the mouse. By the 3rd day, his movement slowed. At 10 a.m., he suddenly slumped forward onto the desk. Other customers thought he had fallen asleep. After several minutes without motion, staff went to check. They shook his shoulder, but he was limp. An ambulance was called. When paramedics arrived, he showed no pulse. Doctors at the nearest hospital declared him dead, citing cardiac arrest linked to extreme exhaustion and dehydration after 3 days of continuous gaming. The Halo incident. On October 20th, 2007, in Wellington, Ohio, 16-year-old Daniel Petrick argued with his parents after they confiscated his copy of Halo 3. They had locked the game in a safe, believing he had become dangerously addicted. While they were out, Daniel discovered where the key was hidden and retrieved both the game and his father's pistol.
No.
When his parents returned,
No. Don't tell me about the. No, don't tell me about the off his parents for fucking Halo.
he confronted them in the living room. He asked them to close their eyes, saying he had a surprise. Instead, he raised the pistol and fired. His mother, Susan,
What?
was killed instantly. His father, Mark, was shot in the head, but survived. Daniel attempted
Both of
to
the
frame his
parents?
father by placing the gun in his hand. Paramedics arrived quickly and saved him. Daniel was arrested and later sentenced to
Bro.
23 years to life in prison. The case shocked the United States, raising questions about violent video games and teenage obsession. The Pokemon Cliff. On September 7th, 2000.
Not even teenage obsession. Be more careful of where you hide the key to the gun safe and maybe don't put the game where the gun is. It's just common sense.
16, two men in Tokushima Prefecture, Japan, were playing Pokemon Go along a coastal path. The mobile game, which used GPS and augmented reality, had become a global sensation only weeks earlier. Players often followed the app into unfamiliar areas while chasing virtual creatures. That afternoon, the men, aged 21 and 22, walked together while staring at their phones. The trail narrowed near a steep drop overlooking the sea. Focused on the screen, they failed to notice the edge. Both fell from a height of more than 65 feet. Emergency responders were called immediately by nearby witnesses.
Bro.
One of the men was found alive but badly injured.
Bro.
The other was discovered at the base of the cliff, unresponsive. He was declared dead at the hospital a short time later. Japanese authorities urged players to pay more attention to their surroundings, and the case received wide coverage in national and
That's
international
sad.
media. The League of Legends incident.
But why does the cliff not have a railing? At least some a little I don't know, something, bro. League of Legends.
On November
like,
14th,
something.
2012, a 23-year-old man entered an internet cafe in Wuhan, China.
Yo, the internet cafes. The internet cafes. It's something about the internet cafe. I'm telling you, there's something there, bro.
Sat at a terminal, logged into League of Legends, and began to play. Staff said he had been a regular customer, sometimes staying for long sessions, but this time he remained in his seat for nearly 23 hours without pause. Other patrons noticed him shifting uncomfortably, rubbing his chest, but he kept on playing. As the morning turned into afternoon, his body weakened. At 3 p.m., he suddenly slumped back in his chair. His arms fell to his side, the mouse slipped from his hand. The attendant rushed over, calling his name, but he was unresponsive. Paramedics were summoned immediately. By the time they arrived, his pulse was faint and irregular. He was transported to a nearby hospital, where doctors attempted to resuscitate him. He was declared dead shortly afterward. Medical staff attributed the death to cardiac arrest, brought on by fatigue, dehydration,
something isn't adding
and
up.
prolonged immobility.
Something isn't adding up. How can a public internet cafe allow someone to play for days on end? Something doesn't add up. They gotta close the shop. They can't leave it open unless it's 24 hours. And even then, they should know that there should be like regulations. Like, let's say like you can have more than a 5-hour session. Like, what's going on?
It was one of several such incidents reported in China during that period. The Lineage 2 incident. On March 29, 2005 in Shanghai, two friends, Qiu Chengwei and Zhu Kaoyuan, played the online game Lineage 2. Qiu loaned Zhu a powerful virtual sword, the Dragon Saber. Weeks later, Zhu sold it for 7,200 yuan without permission.
How much
Furious,
is that? How much is that? How much is that? How much is that? Hey Siri, convert 7,200 yuan to US dollars. $1,000. Okay. So he sold a sword for $1,000 without his permission. He's gonna kill him. This is literally where this is going.
Qiu demanded its return. When Zhu refused, Qiu reported the theft to police. At the time, Chinese law did not recognize virtual property as real, and no charges were filed. On the evening of March 29th, Qiu confronted Zhu in person. The argument escalated into violence. Qiu drew a knife and stabbed Zhu repeatedly.
What?
Zhu died from his wounds. Qiu was arrested at the scene.
What?
In June 2005, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole. The killing became one of the first high-profile cases linking disputes over virtual items to real-world homicide, sparking debate in China over the value and legal status of digital property. The Pokemon Train. On August 23, 2016, in Tokushima Prefecture, Japan, a 39-year-old truck driver was driving on a rural road while playing Pokemon Go. Distracted by the game, he failed to see two women crossing at a railway intersection. The truck struck both pedestrians. One woman, aged 72, died instantly. The second, aged 60, was rushed to hospital with critical injuries and died shortly afterward. Witnesses said the driver never braked before impact. Police arrested the man at the scene. He admitted he had been playing Pokemon Go behind the wheel. Prosecutors charged him with dangerous driving resulting in death. The case made national headlines in Japan, where the government had
That's
already
horrible,
issued
bro.
public safety
Pokemon
warnings
Go
about the game.
needs to get banned.
Following the tragedy, Niantic, the game's developer, added new warnings for players not to use the app while operating vehicles. Despite the changes, the Tokushima crash remains one of the deadliest incidents linked to mobile gaming distraction. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for similar ones
W
and
video.
feel free to drop
W video. Yes, I will drop a subscription. W video and a like. How many poses? How many poses was that? 25? That's not that bad, right?